Hello, and welcome back to 70s Daydreams. We have another very special episode today, and we are bringing it back to the 21st century once more for your listening pleasure. So today we're going to talk about the Animation is Film Festival that took place in Los Angeles in October of this year, 2025, and Autumn attended this festival, so she's going to give us all the inside scoop, and we are going to get the firsthand account of this wonderful animation festival. So Autumn,
yes,
how did you find out about this festival?
How did I find out? I think I was probably just researching animation film festivals, and this one showed up, and I saw some quote somewhere that said, if Annecy is the Cannes of animation, then this one is the Tribeca.
Wow.
Or it was either Tribeca or one of the like Sundance.
Sundance, yeah.
It was quite a comparison. So I was like, wow, I think I need to go to this. And for those who don't know, Annecy is, to my knowledge, the biggest animation film festival in the world. It's held in Annecy, France, once a year. I hope to go one year. I hope it would be great if we could both go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oui.
Oui. But I went to this one and it was lovely. For those of you who don't know, I used to live in LA for a little bit. So it was really nostalgic to go back, and it was really fun, and it was really special for me because, just a little more background about me, I don't have any like formal education in animation. I'm just a fan. I always loved animation as a kid. When I was a kid, I wanted to grow up and make cartoons, and I've always loved art, and I've always drawn. I just don't have a formal education specifically in animation or really the arts in general. Aside from like a class here or two in like in painting or drawing. So this was like an opportunity to sort of deepen my knowledge of the craft, see what's happening in the field right now, and sort of my own personal guided journey and a way to just deepen my knowledge and see what's happening right now in the field. And it was really special, and I really would recommend to people that these things are open to the public. And so if you're a fan of whether it's animation or just anything else, a lot of these conventions or festivals are a great way to meet other people who are into things that you're also into. So it was really special, and it was kind of fun to travel, specifically for something like this. And I felt like I was, I don't know, like some like VIP or I don't know. It was really fun.
So do you want to give us also just like an overview of, I see that it was like 3 days more or less, and then there was like a preview earlier. And so did you go to like all of the screenings, most of the screenings, all of the days? Just let us know like what you kind of got into.
So I did not go to the pre-screening, which was on the October 13th, but I went to the 17th, 18th, and 19th. I obviously was not able to see all of the films because a lot of them show in tandem. But I did my best to see a good amount, as well as giving myself some time to also explore LA. But yeah, I did see a decent amount. I saw films on each day of the main weekend. And yeah, we don't have to talk about all of the films that I saw. But let me just like give a little background just of where it was set. If y'all know the Chinese theater in LA, it's this historic theater, and in the courtyard there are a bunch of like footprints and handprints and signatures of like celebrities, like famous actors and actresses, going back to the 20s. I think there might have even been one from the 10s, but like when actors, put their hands in wet concrete or their feet in wet concrete and then they sign. So there's this like courtyard outside of the theater that has like all of these slabs of concrete, and it's really magical. I've been there before, but it's always a delight to see and just look around and see all of like the big names in Hollywood. And the theater itself is in a sort of traditional Chinese inspired style, so it's really aesthetically beautiful. So yeah, it was in that whole pavilion area. So yeah, on Hollywood Boulevard. So it was very busy. Every time I got there, I had to sort of I had to like sort of
maneuver around the tourists and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of tourists. Just because it's like has the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and but it was a really nice place to host the festival, because there was like food all around. There was an In-N-Out down the street. It was a really happening area, and there was like a mall. So it was a very lively place to see films. Yeah.
And I saw that on the October 17th, they had the Best of Annecy. Did you get a chance to look at that one?
Yes, it was really nice because it was women in animation. So they were showing some shorts that were directed by women, and that's always important to uplift those voices because, as with many other fields, it can sometimes be a boys' club. So yeah, and the thing that was interesting with some of the shorts is when we spoke about the Transfiguration Festival that we went to, the shorts were usually around. They usually were maybe like 2 minutes or so, but with this one, the short films were like maybe 20 minutes each. So they didn't show as many. They only showed like maybe, I think it was like 3, maybe 4.
Okay.
But I think so, but they were much longer.
I saw on the mission of the website too, that one of their primary purposes that they list is to champion and support women filmmakers, which is really cool. So really glad that you got to go to this one specifically for that reason.
Yeah, one of them that I really liked was Hairy Legs. It dealt a lot with womanhood and femininity, and yeah, it was a really powerful story while also having this very kind of whimsical look and feel to it. It was very colorful and it had this almost, I don't know if it was like a paper cutout, but it had a really nice, joyous, like childhood, like you seeing her grow. So that one was really special. There's also another one that was inspired by the poems of Sappho from the island of Lesbos, from which lesbian is derived.
Now, is that Lesbian Space Princess, or is that was a short within?
This is a short.
Wow.
Yeah. So yes, there was a lot of sapphic representation.
Wonderful. We love to see that.
So yeah, Sappho. That was from Brazil. That was a really lovely one. Really beautiful. Yes. And then let's see. So I also saw Lesbian. So the first night they had Lesbian Space Princess. That was probably my favorite film of the festival, I'm going to say. It was a riot. Like, it was so funny. It was smart. It was over the top. It was ridiculous. It was aware of itself. It was cheeky. It had everything. It was just so well done. It was so current. And yeah, it just had the right balance of everything. It was from Australia. I'm not really that familiar with much Australian cinema.
I don't think we've done any Australian either on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, I'd be after seeing this, I'm like, yeah, I need to check out more of what's happening because this one was a real tour de force. Um, yeah, I don't I don't really know what else to say about it. It was just really um like it had this like youthfulness to it. Like it felt like a queer film that like our generation and younger would really appreciate. Yeah, it has a lot of sort of like mentions to like current slang and a lot of like the different struggles and issues that we deal with today. Um, it was pretty witty. Yeah, and I remember in the theater, everyone was just like laughing at every joke. It was really fun.
It looks like this one's available for pre-order, at least on Amazon, maybe a few other places. So that's exciting that we'll be able to watch this eventually. So that was your favorite one. I noticed that also there was quite a bit of like more well known like children's animation. So in the schedule, so like Zootopia, Paranorman,
Bluey.
Bluey, yeah. Those are all ones that I'm already. Oh, and then K-pop Demon Hunters. It looked like they also had a panel for that. Did you go to any panels or anything like that?
I stayed for some of the Q&As after some of the films. I didn't see any of those films that you just mentioned at the festival. I tried to see films that I I tried to see films that I hadn't heard before. Um, yeah, I thought it was really nice how they had such a wide range of content. So they had, like more Hollywood blockbusters and to more, more indie content as well as like foreign. Um, but yeah, while I did want to see Paranorman and I did want to see some of the other ones, but I tried to see the ones that I didn't think would be easily
Yeah, that
accessible.
makes sense.
Um,
So then I see that it was also juried. Was there like a part that you like did they give away like awards there that you were aware of, or you want to talk a little bit about that
yeah.
part?
So after the films, they had QR codes outside of the theater where you could scan to vote for your favorite film, and they announced the winners about like a week or so after the festival was finished. Yeah, so yeah, there was like voting and
Yeah, that's
such.
great that you got
Yeah.
to like cast your vote and stuff. I saw on the website that they have a section for the makers, and it looked like there was Anna Kendrick was there, who's pretty famous. I think that's the only name that I like jumped out of me as someone that I wouldn't expect, would be there.
I kind of wanted to do a little bit more networking, but I feel like everyone was pretty focused on just like coming to see the films. But yeah, there was the thing that was cool about this festival is that it felt kind of exclusive in a lovely way. Like it felt like I was a part of this sort of not. It felt like I was a part of something that was like a brewing because like the festival, it's been going for something like 7 or 8 years, I think. And it's growing each year. And this has been the biggest it's been this year. But it's not like, you know, overwhelming, like thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Like I'm sure like over the course of the weekend, there's a lot of people, but it felt very approachable and it felt like you could, walk up to people and chat with people. And if you wanted to talk to the animators or the directors
Wow, that's really
afterwards.
cool.
Yeah, like if it was like it didn't feel like it was this, like Cannes, where it's like this almost unattainable, dream to go to. This felt like it was because like it was just amazing to go to something like this because it was, you know, incredibly high quality films, but affordable and accessible and yeah, like in yeah.
Did you have any trouble at all, like reserving your seat for any of the showings? Like, were you able to like get into all the ones that you were interested in?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
I had no issues. Yeah, I like bought all my tickets ahead of time and I just showed them the tickets on my phone for them to scan. It was really very smooth process and I want to give a shout out to all the people who like worked at the festival, all of the, you know, the ticket scanners and the people, everyone was so nice. Like, and I know that event planning is a very stressful thing, but it was a true labor of love. Like all the people there were very kind and I'm sure like, you know, they have to answer the same questions over and over again. Like all of the people working the festival were incredibly helpful. One interesting one I saw was a story about fire. That was a Chinese film. It had a really unique animation style. It almost had this like really like brush. You could see like a lot of like the brush strokes, and it was the story of this monkey and like his dog, or it was kind of like a wolf, but like them trying to survive this tundra like environment. And then they like go to this mountain. And it was this very like big epic adventure and sort of battling the elements. And as you know, I really like content that deals with winter and snow because that's often something that not everyone likes. That I don't know, it's just kind of like fun to see that landscape, especially in animation. So that one was really it had a really kind of like visceral intensity to it because it dealt a lot with them like hunting for food and trying to survive in this really harsh climate. That one was special.
Did you watch the Little Amelie or the Character of Rain?
Yes, I did see this one.
I saw that one won an award, and I felt like just from the stills of it, that was really like captivating. Like just scrolling down, I was like, oh, the title, oh, the art in this one. So
Yeah, this one had a really beautiful look to it, like that sort of like more smooth CGI-ish quality. It was like from the perspective of like a baby, so it took a little bit of time to sort of, you know, catch my bearings as to exactly what was going on. It was a pretty surreal piece. I didn't read the book that it was based off of, so that might have helped given me more context. But yeah, it had a lot of really like big, it was a big concept piece. That one was interesting. Frank Caldo was a really special one. You know, I had been reading about Frank Caldo for months prior because it is Mexico's first feature stop motion film.
nice.
And you know, I knew I had to see it, and it was really special. So if, like for fans of Coraline or Tim Burton, things like that, it was, you know, kind of in that kind of spooky.
Was that one in Spanish or was it dubbed? Okay.
Yeah. There was singing, it was a very kind of like almost like operatic, like in
nice.
theme, like, you know, dealing with the underworld and
I'm sold. I already want to watch
nightmare.
this.
Yeah, it dealt with like nightmares and like it was really expansive and ambitious, and I think they achieved what they set out to do, and it was really just I'm trying to I don't know, like just so detailed. Like stop motion is I just don't know how people do it. Like being able to, I mean, it's already so hard to deal with, 2D, but to like deal with lighting things and moving like clay and all of that and backgrounds, it's so expansive. And that one was really fascinating because the directors, they are brothers. They were there for the Q&A afterwards, and they were so jovial and passionate, and they talked about the process, and they made this film for not a lot of money. And that was one of the questions. Like they asked them how they were able to create such a high production piece on such a small budget. And one of the brothers said, we're Mexican, so we know how to make things work and stretch. And it was really powerful. And yeah, like they've done work on Adult Swim. There's this program called, I believe it's called Women with Shoulder Pads, or Women Wearing Shoulder Pads. And so like they've done work in that. They have a extensive resume prior. So it was really nice to see their dream come true. And
Yeah, that's really special.
yeah, it was really, yeah. The shorts, I also saw another set of shorts. I think it
Do you
was.
see any pants?
LOL. Um, let me see. Yes, so yes, shorts 2. That was on the 18th.
That one won an award too. At least the one that's pictured in the photo of like the looks like a woman kind of laying down, maybe with like a leg in the air dancing.
Yes, so that one was from Gigi. That one was, I really really like that. That one was about a woman's transition, and it definitely spoke to me. Yeah, it it's like started with like childhood, and then like noticing a lot of like the differences like as she grew and like hit puberty, and like not being comfortable with it, and trying to figure out how to navigate her body. And it was really, it had this tenderness to it, and the way it was narrated, yeah, it was really special. And yeah, and it was actually based off of they like had interviewed a woman about this, and it was like her story, and it was really special. Another one that was stop motion called Playing God, and this one was really intense. Like it was about this sculptor, and he kept making these bodies, and then he would leave, and then like the bodies would come to life, but then they would look over to the side, and there would be all of the bodies that he had made prior, but they were all disfigured. And there it was definitely very like a horror film. And the new body that he made is trying to escape from the little podium that he was built on, and then he like falls, and then gets dragged by the bodies on either side of him, and he gets to be a part of the new chorus of. It was very like fleshy, like the way they built, the way like showing a sculptor crafting a human body, and it was kind of like very body horror, and had a lot of really textural, uncomfortable, yet human, but also uncanny like vibes to it. And it was really kind of grotesque. It was very grotesque, but it was well done. There was also one other short that was that really touched me, that I found to be really special. It was Como si la tierra se las hubiera tragado. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish, but yeah, this one dealt with kidnapping and how many women are kidnapped in Mexico. This one was from the perspective of a child who she would go to this little storefront to get ice cream from this woman. And then one day the woman is missing. And when the little girl is grown, she goes back to visit her hometown, and her reflecting on her memory of this woman who was kidnapped. And it was just really poetic, and it was really tackling this really uncomfortable issue that is hiding in plain sight, that just keeps happening all around the world, really. And we need to really combat, but it was really made a dent in my consciousness.
Yeah, that sounds like a really important one.
So I really hope to go back next year. This was a really wonderful experience. It was, I highly recommend all y'all to check this place out. It could be a fun little vacay for you. Go to LA for a weekend, see some great animations.
Probably stuff yourself silly with their delicious food too in LA.
Oh yeah, LA's got a lot of great food, a lot of great vegan food. It was really special for me, and I came back with a lot of just inspiration, and it was cool to be out there, and so that's a little 21st century for you all.
Yeah. So thanks for going on this little tangent with us. And, we'll be back to our 20th century
Yes.
normalcy, probably the next episode.
Our mid-century modern.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Y'all take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.